Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rant. I'm Rob, and with me is my partner Josh. Say hello, Josh.
Hello, Josh.
See that? Funny man. Very funny man. We're going to have to edit in the audience laughter and rolling over on themselves kind of stuff.
There we go.
It'll be a great introduction. You have no idea how big a confidence builder this will be. So, it's just me and Josh this week. Our third cast member had a scheduling conflict, so we're going to do our best here. Got a couple of comics and a couple of games to mention. You know what? Why don't we just get right down to it? Josh, you mentioned the the new Call of Duty beta you've been playing?
Yeah, I've been playing that up pretty much all day.
How's
'Cause
that
it came
going
out.
for you?
Well, the nice thing is they released it for everyone. So it was originally just for the people who pre-ordered. Then they were like, oh, we don't have enough pre-orders, so let's release the beta. And so they released the beta. And I gotta say, it is actually surprising me with how well-balanced and well-rounded the game actually, it is so far. Like, the last Call of Duties were such shit. Ghosts and
I second
Advanced
that.
Warfare was just some of the worst things they've ever released, but Treyarch's back, and with that, they have their own special brand of Black Ops, and I've been pretty impressed so far. The only thing that really is making me wince is they don't have dedicated servers on the beta, but they released a statement saying there's going to be dedicated servers on the actual game release. So that makes me kind of excited because they haven't had dedicated servers since Modern Warfare 2.
Really, granted, I can't quite remember. It's been a while, but I swear that the PlayStation Network almost always had dedicated servers for titles.
No, not since Modern Warfare 2 has any of the Call of Duty has been dedicated. So
Odd.
that's a plus.
Usually, truthfully, I've never experienced any noted improvement or bad experiences as a result of either or. I mean, that's just me. I generally tend to have bad online experiences anymore,
Mm.
but I don't know. Call of Duty makes me feel nauseous.
It makes your head spin sometimes. And just like any other Call of Duty, this one has those stupid brats who play the game and they're
Exactly. That's the
screaming
part
at
that
you.
makes me nauseous, not the game. It's the
I
toxic
know.
community.
But the nice thing is, you're just not the nice thing, but the thing is, you're gonna have that with any game you play. And I like the mute all button. That's one of my favorites.
That's
It's a
like a
fan favorite.
must-have for everything. It's just, how can I shut everybody in this game up at once? Oh, look, it's right there. Click.
Now to kind of generalize the game for a little tiny review here. If you take Advanced Warfare and you take out all the shit that they did in it with the stupid guns that were all pretty much the same, the fucking exosuits and blah blah blah. You strip it down to its core, you got a pretty good game. But the Black Ops, they took that Advanced Warfare kind of like style and they mixed it with Black Ops 2. And Black Ops 2 was the last Call of Duty that I actually liked. Um, and they built on this new system of having these specialized characters who each have their own little special ability. Like one guy takes out fucking two giant swords and smashes them on the ground and kills anyone in his vicinity, and there's one person who can put up a shield and deflect bullets for a few seconds, and there's a robot who can make decoys. So each person has their own little flair to it, and it's nice because that's a game changer right there for pretty much anyone playing the game. Is if you run into someone and they all of a sudden do 6 copies of themselves, you're screwed. And
True.
I've just been having a good time with it. The guns are all nice, well rounded. There's definitely I don't see any major problems with this game, and I've been a long Call of Duty player. I started out as a 3D platform gamer, then the FPSs started coming out, and I started getting into those through my teen years, and now I just kind of play whatever's good. But you might say that I'm a Call of Duty enthusiast, but I'm not like
He's
I'm
a
not
Call
like
of Duty aficionado.
I'm not one of those assholes who will badger you for shitting on Call of Duty because I know it's just they just rehash the same formula over and over again, and it sells them copies. So I mean, whatever makes them money, I guess.
Well, truthfully, it's not a horrible game. Like it's just never been one of the ones that I could really attach to because the story was never the kind of thing I usually find really engaging. But like if you just look at the gameplay mechanics and what's offered, and it is a pretty solid title. It's just like you said, it's like cookie cutter, versions every time. But this was a beta, right? So
Yeah.
how close to like done does it feel to you? I mean, do you feel like they're gonna remove a bunch of shit or add a bunch of shit?
I think the game's pretty much done. They could probably release it in the next week, and the game would be spotless. Although I shouldn't say spotless because every time Call of Duty releases a game, they have to patch it right away because something doesn't work. But I feel
like everything now, though, isn't it?
If they just released the beta as the game right now, it'd probably be pretty solid. It's just that they don't have the dedicated servers. That's really the only problem with the beta right now. Also, for some reason, Call of Duty has it in their head that they need to put a one-hit kill sniper rifle as the first sniper rifle you unlock, so everyone uses it. I keep saying every single review I do for Call of Duty, I'm like, take out the one-hit kill sniper rifle for the first thing you get. You should wait until the later level, but of course not. They always got to release it first.
Granted, this is not going to win me any fans or anything, but I feel like they should always take out, for multiplayer at least, the weapons that are instant kills and the weapons that have massive amounts of splash damage, because I feel like those things are just spammed. You know what I mean? Like, my experiences on the Call of Duty servers back in the day was it was like I either ran into the guy that would camp somewhere near a spawn point and just run up and get you as soon as you popped in, or I'd run across the dude that somehow managed to like climb a fucking tree and is sniping from there, and nobody else can figure out how to get up there. It's just I feel like they should remove some of those exceptionally heavy damage weapons from multiplayer.
Yeah, and a lot of the those problems with the heavier weapons is people just like like you said, sit in the corner or sit by an objective and just sit there. This game, they've kind of helped with that. Mainly with there's this new perk called Sixth Sense that'll warn you when a player is near you. So that's nice. So if someone's sitting in the corner, it'll direct you to them. But I mean, it only shows up for like a second, so you have to really watch your mini-map. It goes boing, boing, and that's it. It's over. So you get a little precautionary warning there, which is nice. And a lot of
nothing.
Yeah, better than nothing. And they've tried to do this before. I think in Ghosts there was a perk where if you sat in a place too long, the effect of the perk would not last. So like if there was a UAV, you would be invisible while running, but when you stayed still, it would show you on the mini map. And in Advanced Warfare, they tried to use the exosuits to make people want to run around and do stuff, but a lot of people still camped in corners. And in Black Ops, they still have the exosuits, but they're more like jetpacks. They give you that extra boost to get up to a different level, or they let you run across the wall. They've kind of combined Call of Duty with Titanfall here because there's the kind of the what do you call the running along the walls and stuff. The parkour is in there, and also the exosuits. But it's not really an exosuit, like I said. It's more like it's like a jetpack to help you get across a ravine or something like that. So it's not really overused in this game like they did in Advanced Warfare, and it's really...
It's like an exosuit from that movie Elysium, that kind of deal? Like it just gives you a little bit more oomph?
Yeah, it just kind of gives you a little more oomph, yeah.
Okay, so that's not terrible.
And also, instead of knifing, now you're bashing again, which goes back to the roots of Call of Duty, which is fucking hilarious. And I love it. I love to bash people's brains out. They still have the equipable knife, but if you're a basher and you missed bashing, it's back. Finally, after...
What do you mean bashing? Like just literally like...
You use your gun and...
Oh, okay. Pistol whip.
The butt end of your rifle.
Okay. I like that. I like that. There's a
sense
of satisfaction in that one as opposed to the knife, which never... Like, to me, the knife never felt like you actually did anything. It just looked like awkward, like, oh, I swung my knife and they fell down and died. It's like, oh, okay, I feel like I didn't hit anything, but apparently I scared him to death.
Well, be like that one lady who had a knife stuck in the back of her head for a day and didn't notice until she went to sleep.
Oh my god, those stories are fucking horrifying. I can never figure out how like nobody notices and like nobody says anything to these people. You know what I mean?
Like, excuse me, ma'am, you have a knife sticking out of the back of your
Exactly.
head?
How did it's right up there with those like creepy ass prank show videos where like a guy or a girl walks around with like they're naked but they have like painted clothes on and everyone
Oh, yeah.
stares but nobody was willing to admit it kind of thing. It's like this is just weird, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Getting back to one point though, I like the idea of being punished for doing certain things when it comes to multiplayer, like shooters specifically. Like, did you ever play any of the Unreal games back in the day?
Yeah, I played the second one.
Yeah, do you remember the match mutators, they called them?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, they had a bunch of great stuff that you could put on if you were getting online. Like, one of them was a no camping one. And basically, if you sat still for more than 10 seconds, your character exploded and gave a point to whoever tagged you last. I
Right.
miss shit like that. It was like an equalizer, you
In
know?
in the first two Call of Duties, there was a star would appear on the map where you're camping. Like if you sat in a spot for like a minute, it would show a star on the minimap, and everyone would just kind of converge to you and rape you. But they took that out for some reason. I feel like that would be
Well, I
also
feel like it
a
was
really
the whole
good.
raping thing.
Yeah,
I feel like everyone was like, this is crossing a line. I mean,
this is too far, too far.
TMI. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like showing your location on the map just doesn't feel like drastic enough to me. But then again, I'm kind of like still pissed off over so many of the matches I'd been in where like a dude just, like I said, climbed a tree or something.
Yeah,
Or maybe like I got lucky they jumped off the roof and landed in a weird clipping section and they're just suspended 400 feet up with a sniper rifle and a full loadout. And it's like, okay, well, everyone's fucked.
yeah.
Enjoy this death spree.
And
Oh,
don't
look, he got 54 kill streak. Now he can bring in the nuclear strike again.
yeah.
You know?
And don't get me wrong, I'm not like a Call of Duty fanatic or anything. I just think that this game is probably going to be pretty good. I mean, for what we've been getting out of Call of Duty for the past few years, I feel like this is another step in the right direction. Although I've talked about it in the Jarshcast, the gaming community is oversaturated with like futuristic shit. Just everything's futuristic now. Call of Duty, Medal of Honor, Battlefield. It's all futuristic, and I think we need to go back to some of the older days. I think we need cavemen and with rocks and sticks.
It's going hardcore low tech, but who doesn't want to see a caveman parkouring through the tar swamp just so he can cut off the other dude who's trying to kill his T-Rex or something? That would actually be an awesome... You know what? We patent that. That is patented by the Rant.
There we
If
go.
you want to license the idea, get in contact with us.
In all seriousness, no. What I'm really waiting for is a World War II. I mean, sorry, a World War I shooter. I mean, just think of how sweet it would be to charge a trench and machine gun fire everywhere. Get the old style, the original tanks coming in, and I feel like that would be a good game. But unfortunately, you haven't really had any games that are like first person or even third person World War One. There is a game on Steam called Verdun. It's I think it's still in the what do you call it, the
They're like green light phase.
yeah,
and
the
stuff
green light
where
phase,
It's like a
and
beta
it's
version or
not
something.
it's not too bad, but I mean, it's kind of like if you ever played it, what's it called, like Rising Sun or something like that. It has that whole squad mentality where one person's the rifleman, one person's a commander, one person's a machine gunner. A Rising Storm, Red Orchestra too. So it's I don't know. I had to uninstall it. It was updating every day, and I was like, I'm not playing this game. So
I hate it.
I'll
I
just
hate
uninstall.
that. I hate it when there is a constant update. It's almost as bad as when they disguise an update, or they disguise like preloading DLC content to the
Right.
game on your computer. Like, oh no, it's updating. Really? When was the last time an update was bigger than the game? It's like, well, we figured out the copy of the game that we sent out was actually a virus, so we're supplying everybody with a new game. It's like, you know what? That's all bullshit. Fuck you for lying to me. I do agree with you though. I think a World War I shooter would be interesting, but it's like the one thing that I feel like would maybe hamper that a bit is like if you think about how war is now, where it's not personal anymore. It's very rarely like soldiers actually facing off with other soldiers.
Right.
You know, but you go back to like World War I and World War II, and it's like you got to see the dude that you were going after. Like
Oh
you
yeah.
got to see his face. You could burn that into your memory. World War I especially. I feel like it might be too personal and too realistic to
Yeah, in your
make a
face.
real shooter out of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, granted, in America, no problem, it'll fly. They mark it M, and let's face it, every mother will buy it for their 8-year-old because nobody gives a shit. But I feel like anywhere else other than America, that would kind of get shot down. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Well, hey, they.
Germany and Australia are famous for shooting down titles that have mature content in them, even if it's not anything supremely
Too. Yeah.
violent.
Well, I mean, Germany lost the war, so of course they're going to be like, hey, we don't want this one. Uh,
That's horrible. That's
do you know
horrible.
how many euros we still have to pay you guys? Like, it's never going to happen.
That's terrible. just we'll like omit that whole section. Like 5 minutes gone, be like just make that beep noise that you hear when the phone line goes dead.
Mm.
No, I don't blame them because so many places kind of view like violent video games as like precursors to real shit.
Yeah.
Which to me, I'm sorry, that's coincidence. I don't
Oh yeah, I
believe like
agree
a
with you
video.
totally.
I believe a video game that is supremely violent is a terrific outlet for primal urges. Like if you have a really shitty day and you feel violent and aggressive, get online, beat the crap out of somebody in a video game. The
Exactly.
urges go away. It's like I swear to God, if everybody played video games and got out the violence that builds up during the day from like road rage and messed up shit like that, I swear there'd be a lot less problems.
Right, and there's been like one or two cases where the kid was influenced by games, but I swear there's not enough to have such a big argument like most of these people have.
Exactly.
And especially those really, really religious people who are like, oh my goodness, the God would not like this game. And they just go on this whole tangent, quoting scripture and all that. It's like,
Yeah, the
oh,
extreme
slow down
zealot
there.
behavior, yeah.
This all happened in the 80s when hair metal was a big thing, and everyone thought that playing them backwards had demonic things. So, I mean,
Oh God, the good old days when men kind of looked like women and sung about the devil.
oh yeah,
Oh God, the heyday of rock and roll. If only. No, those are terrible days.
oh yeah,
No man should ever wear like lavender spandex and air hump while he sings. That's just wrong.
that's pretty much
That's
Judas
that's
Priest in a nutshell, right there.
that was every band in the '80s. It was
Right.
horrifying. I mean, just Bon Jovi, man.
Oh goodness.
Ah, terrible memories. I'm just old enough to have that shit etched in my head. It's horrifying.
Did you hear Bon Jovi's new album?
I'm just surprised he's still alive.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I was gonna say if you haven't, don't because
It's that bad.
it's pretty much a pop album with Bon Jovi singing. So
Oh, that's horrifying.
it really is. But anyway, let's move on. Don't
We're
wanna.
just getting way off topic.
I
And it's
don't want to
starting to
talk
get
about Bon Jovi.
horrifying. We
Yeah.
just lost 80 subscribers like in that 3 second span. They're like, oh, fuck this. Spandex? No way.
Nuh-uh. Nope, nope. I'm not powdering my balls.
Whoa. How do we go from spandex to, what? I don't even want to know. Let's move on. Let's move on. You know what? Fuck this. We'll go to comics. Video games have gone down a weird road tonight. Okay. Well, we have a couple of comics that we should talk about, I guess. They're both, well, they're sort of new. One they released in issue 0. I guess it was supposed to be like a month or two ago, something like that. I only recently got my hands on it. It actually, I guess it's not supposed to really start printing for like another month or something. That is a comic from Boundless Comics called Ember. I actually really enjoyed this. The book 0 is, well, there's no like real backstory. There's like a page with a couple of panels of flashback that hint at what happened. But here's why I love this comic, okay? The main character is kind of like a Kim Kardashian type. Like, she's a model, and she's really self-obsessed, and you get where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
But here's what made this awesome. Like, you read the whole first book, and it's literally like Kim Kardashian grew a conscience and superpowers overnight.
Oh.
Like, I couldn't help but, like, enjoy it with that premise thrown in there. It's like, holy shit, okay, supermodel who's responsible now. And it's just, I kept, like, picturing Kim Kardashian in the outfit, too, which is one of those, like, really sexy reveals a lot kind of outfits. But at the moment, I have no idea what the backstory is in here. Because, like I said, there's just a couple of little panels on one of the pages in a flashback style. But essentially, it seems like the main character and the other character that she dukes it out with at the end were both on this airplane. Something happened and the plane went down, and then that's basically all you get. It's like, okay, there was a plane crash, now one chick is invulnerable to damage and super strong, and the other one has like pyrokinesis powers or something. There's a lot in there clearly missing. But come on, who doesn't want to read a comic that's like Kim Kardashian has a conscience and superpowers? Come on.
Well,
the silence is horrifying. I'm the only one that finds this amusing. Like,
I'm not sold on it. I'm sorry.
You're not sold on it? Have you read the issue? Of course you haven't read the issue.
No
one's gonna read this fucking thing. I'm gonna be the only damn person to read it. Like, how many issues of that we sell? One. There's this dude in Ohio that said he likes it. He thought it was cool with, the Kim Kardashian thing. It's like, that's what we thought. I'm so glad he got that. Too bad we can't do a printing of it when there's only one guy. Cancel it.
Jerry will probably sell you the rest of the copies he has. Just be like, here you go. You want these. You were the only person who liked it, so here you go.
That is exactly what he would do. When I was in the comic shop the other day, he tried to get me to, like, somebody, I guess, had traded in this massive stack of old Robotech comics. Like, I mean, we're talking like 150 issues here.
Wow.
Jeremy grabbed that thing out of the box, slapped him on the counter. He's like, $15, you take it.
15?
Dude, I don't want this. This is like 1970s, and I'm not even all that big on Robotech, to be honest. It was never one of the shows I watched either. But he's a comic salesman.
Yeah, he got me to buy that what's it called? It's like the samurai-looking stormtrooper for $85.
Oh, right. I saw those were actually pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I was.
Not like,
there was two
I'm not
left.
loving the price on them, but they
I
were
know.
cool. They were cool looking.
There was two left, and he was like, "Well, I'm buying the other one once this one sells." I'm like, "Oh, sold. I'm never gonna find these again for this price."
Which one did you get? The Stormtrooper? Or
yeah, I
Vader?
got the Stormtrooper. I didn't like how the Darth Vader looked. I thought the Stormtrooper looked cool.
Really, I got to look at the Vader because the box
Yeah,
had
it's
to be
open.
open. He said he was handing it to somebody to look at, and they just dropped the whole damn thing. So he was like, well, fuck, now I got to make sure it's not broken.
He should have just had them buy it. You break it, you buy it.
I feel like that never works. I feel like it could be like an $8,000 item, and the person would just look at you, shrug, and then let's just bolt out of the store. I feel like you'd never actually be able to enforce that shit.
Oh, I accidentally ripped Action Comics #1.
Exactly. Yeah, here it is. Oh, I'm sorry. I shredded the cover of this $250,000 comic. What's that? I have to buy it? What's that over there? And just I feel like no one would ever own up to that shit anymore.
I don't think so, no.
I mean, granted, well, if I destroyed a $250,000 comic, I'd fucking run too.
Never
but,
come back.
Truth be
Never
told,
again.
I want to know why you're letting anybody just handle something of that value first off. You know what I mean? Like, if that was my shop and one of my employees is just like letting people look at, the most expensive thing I have.
It's fine.
Exactly. I'd be like, dude, you're fucking fired, and I'm billing you for that comic.
Look, this guy got pizza grease on it. What the fuck?
Oh, that's horrible. That makes me cringe internally.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's like for me the big like first issue of anything would be like Amazing Fantasies number 15, which was the original appearance of Spider-Man.
Hmm.
I've never seen one, not a real printing on it. Like I've seen redos because I know that they've done a few times, but the original one I have heard has been sold for upwards of like $1 million if it's close to mint. So
Yeah.
that's a pretty rare comic, and I sure as shit would not let anybody hold even the plastic container you seal the damn things in when you
Yeah.
send it off to get graded. I'd have that fucking thing in a bulletproof case on the wall,
Yep. Yep.
and I'd insure it for 3 times what it's worth. Maybe that's it. Maybe they have these things insured for way past what they're worth, and they're just hoping somebody fucks it up.
They're praying. They're like, "Come on,
They're
John.
like, here,
Do
let your 8-year-old who just happens to eat anything play with this.
Oh, you have a dog? Here, let him look at this." And
Oh god, the horrifying. Ah, it makes my checkbook scream.
yeah, well, yeah.
Ugh.
I was
So,
lucky. I had some extra cash to spend, so I bought that Stormtrooper. I feel like that was a good purchase, though. I feel like I won't be able to find that anywhere else.
I feel the way I feel about that stuff anymore is like if I enjoy it and it's not, truly unreasonably priced, I figure it's worth it anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Like
like
there's
these things disappear so quick, and some of them end up priced just ungodly, like instantly. Like, have you ever heard of the Square Enix variant character like action figures they make?
um I don't think so.
Square Enix, they started making like toys and action figures off of their video game characters, and then those all sold really well. So they expanded.
Mhm.
Now they do like there's this whole line of DC characters they do. The Square Enix DC variants. I think Kai is the name of them, right?
Hmm.
These things are like normally $50 brand new kind of deal, but they go astronomically high in price, like almost instantly. Like I really wanted to get the Flash one that they made. Cheapest I've ever seen online is like 120.
Oh,
That's ridiculous.
yeah, that is pretty ridiculous.
It's rare that I buy anything for $100, and it usually has to be really really well done. And these are still an action figure in the end. It's not going to have
Yeah.
the detail of like one of those really awesome PVC statues or even the porcelain ones occasionally. It's collectibles are a weird market.
Yeah, that's true.
Fortunately, it seems like a lot of them hold their value because you don't really play with these things. It's like you admire it. So at least
Yeah,
there's
you
that.
put it in a glass case and you look at it.
Exactly.
You go, "That is a nice box."
It's like, well, if you had an original production G.I. Joe, you sure as fuck wouldn't play with it. Like you'd take it out of the box, maybe, put it in the little display thing, and then you'd be like, that's 40 grand there. Mm-hmm.
It's like Toy Story 2 when the guy's putting all his Woody dolls or the cast from Woody's Roundup in the glass cases.
Right.
He's like, "Oh
I
yes,
remember that, yeah.
this is a super rare Woody model from 1984." I don't know.
I feel like the character is like a carbon copy of the comic book nerd from the Simpsons TV show.
Oh, probably.
Like if you could follow the comic book nerd guy back to his house, he'd like have a glass case with all these rare issues and figurines in it.
Yeah,
No, you
probably.
cannot touch that. That is the rare 1972 Darth Vader with the purple lightsaber. You cannot touch that.
Yeah.
Do you have any
didn't,
idea how much that's worth?
didn't
I had
it
to
just
mortgage
get
my house for that.
didn't it just get sun damaged? It used to be red, turned purple.
Oh my god. Can you imagine the fit that some nerd would have if you threw that out there? All of a sudden all the freaky little thoughts of doubt would just randomly rush out in his head, and you'd see the panic and the sweat form, and he'd run to his bank account. I spent $45,000 on this. If it's not real, I gotta call that guy in Thailand back.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like if
Get
you're
my money
purchasing collectibles for that amount from that area of the world, you like buyer beware. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
that's where you get the bootleg anything. Is like that's that area of Asia. It was like a few months ago. I found this hard to get a copy of anime, and I ordered it from shit. What was it? I'm not gonna remember, but it was a website. And I found out like they're in like I think Thailand or Singapore or something like that, and it was priced. The anime was priced really well. It was like $20 for the whole series, and it got here, and it was clearly a bootleg. Like
Mm.
I threw the DVD in, and I could see like a watermark from an online video in
Oh,
the bottom
jeez.
corner. I'm like, oh motherfucker.
Yeah,
All
when
right,
I
well at
bought
least it was only like $25 with shipping that I lost. All right,
I bought a movie called Grandma's Boy on Amazon,
I
and
love that movie.
I got someone's like bootleg, burned copy. The cover
Oh,
wasn't even right. I was like, shit, what the hell? It
wow,
didn't
off of
even work. You
Amazon?
put it in, it
Damn.
skipped every scene. It was like, all right, this is great. Thanks.
Uh, we have 1,001 stories like that, I'm sure. In fact, I feel like we should make a special episode with weird stories of bullshit.
Right.
Like maybe that'll be the next one. Like we'll call it the special episode for Halloween or something like that. All right, real quick before we get out of here, I want to mention one more comic, and it is a fairly new release. It's called The Beauty. This comic is very intriguing. It's not amazing yet because it was a little predictable in the plot line, but basically the story is this: there is an STD that transforms people into the most beautiful version of themselves. Right there, isn't that just a little weird and interesting? Like, you kind of want to know what they're going to do with that.
Yeah.
Well, they do exactly what you think, and everybody tries to get this. So it's like a nice little commentary on the weird beauty culture that we have in America. I mean, in case anybody doesn't know about this, at one point in American history, they tried to sell chunks of tapeworm to people as a
Mm.
diet aid. Here, shed pounds in hours with this tapeworm. Just swallow it.
Hey, it works, but you die.
Exactly. For that, like, 48 hours, man, your body is rocking. And then there's that whole, like, man, you're looking kind of skeletal thing. And then, oh, shit, he's dead.
Just
It's
dead.
like he had one hell of an 8-pack for, like, 10 minutes there. It was amazing.
Mm.
You got a photo? Ah, shit, they take an hour right now? Damn.
The light
Okay.
bulb burst and
It's
ah,
like he didn't survive through the photo session. Like, he sat there and he looked great, and he just kept looking more great, and then skeleton dead. Damn
because
it!
pictures used to take 30 minutes to take, right? So in that
Exactly,
30-minute time,
exactly. You had
you
to
go
sit
from
still
ugly
because
to
it was
full time.
chemicals etching the image onto like a metal plate. So yeah, you had to sit still for like 45 minutes originally.
Hmm.
Anyways, the comic is really interesting. There's it's got some really interesting philosophical possibilities that make it one of those ones that I kind of just want to follow because the storyline itself was awesome. The nice thing though is that the artwork is pretty solid in my opinion. I mean it's a title from Image Comics, and they tend to always do pretty good on the artwork. Like I feel like they never really skimp on it. Um, the weird thing about it though is on the back cover of it, on the inside, there was a little paragraph, and apparently they had uh, made up an issue of this like a couple of years ago to submit for a like one of those big comic writing contest kind of deals,
Hmm.
and it actually won awards. Like everybody loved this thing, and then somehow it got shoved to the back burner for several years. Like apparently the people who created the original one just like they had other projects they couldn't do, and
Hmm.
it literally was just now that they finally got out a first issue. But I highly recommend checking it out. It's called The Beauty. It's by Image Comics. The first issue just came out literally like a week or two ago, so you've got time. Um, I can't really think of anything else to say about it other than it's awesome, and I mean I think that storyline speaks for itself. That's just something that there's a lot of possibilities. I mean, certainly it's definitely going to be better than I think it was The Wicked and the Divine, Or maybe it's the Divine and the Wicked. I can't remember, but I was following that comic for a while, and that just fell apart hard. like rolling awesome for 10 issues and then just brick wall fuck up kind of. I don't know what the hell happened. Did one of the writers die kind of things? It just went to shit real quick.
That's too bad.
I can't think of another comic that fell apart this hard and this like instantaneously. I mean, granted, it can be a brilliant move to kill off your main protagonist, but in the kind of story that was, it just seems stupid to me. Like, how are you gonna carry this through anymore? You took out the one person you were supposed to be relating to. I don't understand sometimes. Some people have weird thoughts on this stuff.
Yeah. The writers have all the power, so when they...
Why do you think I'm trying to become a published writer?
Yeah.
Thoughts on the comics, Josh?
They sound interesting.
Just not hooked yet.
No, I'd have to read a issue before I'd...
Well, the Ember one, I don't blame you for not even being curious. I just find it funny as shit, so I'm going to read a few issues. But the Beauty one, I highly recommend you check out.
Yeah, whatever floats your boat.
The cover is really cool, actually. It's kind of like a beautiful skeleton kind of thing. It's poetic almost.
Yeah, I'm not going to put you down for liking this comic or that comic. I'm not.
Exactly.
I'm not going to be
Here at
like,
the Rant, we don't judge anybody for that stuff, but occasionally we get really pissed off and we start screaming about things. Hence the
True
title.
that. Yeah, just don't say anything about Mortal Kombat to Jeremy, and you're good to go.
I tried to talk to him rationally a few days later. It didn't go well.
Just turn into a yelling match, like.
It was just a rehash. I couldn't even get my point out. But you know what? Passion is what makes a good fan most of the time. It's just sometimes you'd rather hope that your buddy not get overly passionate at you.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I've never had any friend get passionate to the point where like they start swinging at me. Fortunately, I've avoided that so far.
Okay, good.
Then again, I've never been to one of the big like conventions. That would be awesome though. I want to see two geeky dudes pull out fake lightsabers and just start going at it.
Whoa.
They start making the bad sound effect with their mouths and they're swinging the toy lightsabers.
Oh, okay.
How dare you like Princess Leia over the Wookiee?
The Wookiee. Doesn't even know the actual name.
Exactly. It's just, come on.
How dare you not like Harrison Ford? How dare you not like Chris Pratt? What? He's not even in the movie. He'll be in the reboot. Come on.
Oh, God.
We're arguing about the future.
Well, thanks for listening, folks. It's been a fun evening. What do you say, Josh? Does this seem like a good spot to cut off?
Seems like a good spot. The Harrison Ford joke was just the right touch.
It was classic. Yeah, it was perfect. It was just the right amount of funny to go out on the happy note.
Got any plugs?
No, man, no. But I think you should definitely mention your channel.
Yeah, please check out my channel, Jarsh's Opinion. I have a new series called 3-Second Reviews where I pretty much just say one word about a video game, and that's it. Short, sweet, to the point. You can also check out my Left 4 Dead playlist, which is just me and my two other friends getting screwed over in Left 4 Dead, and I also have my own podcast called Jarshcast, which I elaborate more on some subjects. So yeah, check them out if you want.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Good night, and this has been The Rant.